another vlog. Spontaneous again. I am on my way to the emergency vets. I have a dog that is not feeling well. Poor Bo. He's a labradoodle, Australian labradoodle. He'll be 5 years old actually next week. We have his sister also. They are siblings from the same litter. And she's 23 pounds, he's 26, something like that. He has so many allergies, you have no idea. We had him about 3 years ago when we first moved to Florida. I drove across the country with them, and they were really great driving across the country. But then afterwards, he developed a case of diarrhea that just would not go away, which I guess was brought on by stress, I don't know. And we had to change his food, and we did a blood panel, an expensive blood panel, I might add, that told us that he was allergic to, 10 or 12 things. Chicken, rice, corn, pumpkin is one of them. I can't remember what else, but a significant number of things. Anyway, so we have him on this hydrolyzed diet, which is, again, very expensive. And because I have two, you know, we have to feed them both the same food because they eat out of each other's bowl. And they always had from the time they were a puppy. So, you know, and he did really well on that too. Both of them did really well on that. And for treats, I've been giving them dried pumpkin, and I have been giving him those greeny things, and they just don't agree with him. Or his sister. Bella was actually sick one day from the greenie, and you could see she vomited, and those things do not digest in their meat, in their stomach. So we had to have him to the vet for that because, you know, it just wouldn't go away. Then we had another situation on, I think it was Wednesday. Oh no, he had a serious case of pancreatitis last year. I mean, serious. He didn't eat for 4 days. I had to bring him up to the vet, the emergency vet. Spent thousands on him. And eventually he was fine. You know, they were able to medicate him and get him back to normal. And that's when we started on this hydrolyzed diet. And for those of you that are not, a sheriff's car just pulled out in front of me, are not familiar with that. The food is pulverized so much that the animal, in this case the dog, does not, their body does not really know what it is they're eating, so therefore they're not allergic to it. And then it's formed into these little pellets. So we've been feeding him that for the last year, and it's really worked out well. So I'm not sure what brought this last instance on. Oh yes, when I stopped giving him the greenie, I switched to something that was, you know, just one ingredient in it, which was beef. About a week later, he started not feeling well, and then not eating for a full day. He was drinking but not eating for a full day, and I didn't want to go through another case of pancreatitis, so I brought him up to the emergency vet because, of course, They always, you always find out about these things at night. It's the same when you're raising children. They always get sick at night. So, they ran some tests on him, gave him a really good examination, and he, it seems that, their conclusion was that he's now allergic to beef. And dogs are just like humans, they can develop another allergy. I mean, when I was in my 60s, I all of a sudden couldn't eat gluten or dairy. So I guess a dog is similar. And he couldn't eat, I guess he can't eat beef. So we took beef away. And he hasn't really recovered from that. He's drinking. He's on an anti-nausea pill because he wasn't eating and he was just vomiting bile. And last night he did eat a little bit. And when I called them this morning, they said, well, if you can get him to eat a half a can of food, then you should be good for a while. See. So today he ate pretty much a half a can, maybe a tiny bit more. But then when he went out to poop, he's got blood now in his poop. And a bunch of grass, because he's been eating grass like crazy. So here I am. I'm off to the vet again, the emergency vet. But really, I can't say enough good things about these emergency vets. This one is called Fetch, located in Brandon, Florida. And they have a vet that specializes in every disease that a dog or a cat or another animal could possibly have. So they're very knowledgeable. It's not like when you take them to your local vet around the corner. I mean, they're good and they're great for just your run-of-the-mill everyday annual checkup, get their shots, etc., etc. But when it comes to anything that's out of the ordinary, these folks are the best. So we're on our way up there now. And we'll see what happens. I'm just hoping that it's all part of this gastrointestinal thing that he's got going on and not something more serious. I will report back.